Just like a check here. Some chicken. Welcome back. Thank you for the light.
Let's go, boys!
One thing I've noticed about football fans is they all talk like the players can actually hear them.
Proud of you. Looking good. Keep it up.
But when you have guy come...
1, 2, 4.
If I were the devil, the first thing that I'd do is I'd come off like I ever gave a damn about you. Let you catch a peek of all your greatest desires, and I'd watch the flames in your eyes burn like hellfire.
stay up late or wake up early. This is my normal hours. I'm a nighttime demon.
If he's blue, one thing that I know, need to take a look around. If I were the devil, this world wouldn't be my playground. As I place that thorny crown on my furrowed brow, well, I'd shine all the tears of joy and from the crowd.
Hippies and cowboys.
I want to brainwash parents, but I have the world. I'll be in every schoolhouse lecturing little boys and girls. The devil walks among us friends, I know this is true. And I don't know if it's me, and I don't know if it's you.
Cody Jinkies.
And I know need to take a look around. If I were the devil, this world wouldn't be my playground.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of cool new suggestions in my YouTube feed now.
My final act, tell you what it'd be. I have everyone so medicated they could never see. My puppet hooves on a horn head to be all the sky. And the best part of it all is they can climb thick demise. The devil walks among us friends, I know this is true. And I don't know if it's me, and I don't know if it's you. One thing that I know, need to take a look at.
Oh, thank you. Hey, hello from Portland.
My playground.
Shout out Ireland.
If I were the devil, this world was mine to see. Well, I'd witness all the atrocities and it'd probably frighten me. So I'd run back home with a story to tell. I tell all my demon friends that I always preferred hell.
Huge elf ears. Alright, let me see. Cody Jinx, I found it. What do you normally
I'm
do on your
freaking
lives?
out. Somebody bring it.
Mostly just chill and smoke. Sometimes I'll play games or watch stuff with everybody. Just watch you try Special Gatorade. Yeah, that limited edition Stranger Things. Spoiler alert. It's kind of strange. Do I dance? No, I'm like Fat Joe. I just lean and nod. I can't even get donations right now.
Early this morning, that's alright. I was up all night, but I passed out before the sun came up. I really wanted to see one of those. I know that's no way for a man to behave. The mortgage due and a baby on the way. But somehow I made it to where I'm at. It's been a living as a matter of fact. I get a bad attitude from being tired and running around. Never ask for anyone
Fugler, but it's the Patrick Star Fugler.
They don't care about no trends, they don't care about songs that sell. Yeah, tomorrow.
And you're not even allowed to hashtag Fugler on TikTok. That's how sensitive TikTok is. You can't even put Fugler as a hashtag.
I'll be gone, so tonight everybody just sing along, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. I've been standing on the outside for all of my life, but I like the view, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the yuppies and the hipsters and the wannabe saints that ain't down home. I like $2 beers, I like $3 wells, and some old honky-tonk bar. I know by the smell some old drunk on bar stool on a Merle Haggard tune. That's my kind of room, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about no trends, they don't care about songs that sell. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be gone.
Yeah, this one's chill.
So tonight everybody just sing along, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys.
Makes me want to get some spitting tobacco out down the range, the old plains.
Raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about no trends, they don't care about songs that sell. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be gone, so tonight everybody just sing along, raising hell with the hippies and.
Makes me want to raise hell. All of a sudden, I feel like raising hell.
I ain't mad at you, I just don't know what happened to the love we used to share. Must have fell out with the hair you cut off. You ain't mad at me, you're busy living happily, at least that's what you said. But before I read the text I got blocked. What's the matter, baby? Have you seen me lately? I've been blowing up, I've been going crazy. What's the matter, baby? I've been thinking maybe we should call it off. What do you just say to me? Leave in the past, we were never built to last. We were made for driving, we were made for burning gas. Always think about the good, never think about the bad. But with all minds separate from the games that we both played and both lost. You don't hate me, you just wish that you could blame me for another lonely day. All the love's a scary train you can't get off. What's the matter, baby? Have you seen me lately? I've been blowing up, I've been going crazy. What's the matter with you? I don't see the issue. You can love yourself again, honey, only if you leave it in the past. We were never built to last. We were made for driving, we were made for burning gas. Always thinking about the good, never thinking about the bad. But we've all grown up, babe. We can just look back and laugh. You know I got to wait for that, and I don't know how I'm headed. But we don't have to regret it. No, we don't have to regret it.
That one kind of reminds me of like a Christian kind of song too. Anyways, what's the next song? Rich Man North of Richmond. Tried Checkmate by Apathy. I like that one.
Leading interior space.
You think it's awful? How come you listen to my music?
BoxGG's new vending machines let you pull slabs that are graded by experts like PSA and Beckett and ship them right to your door. There's hundreds of possible cards per pull, and it's constantly restocked, so you'll always have access to grid.
Apathy.
Tell me what you're thinking, what you're thinking about. Tell me when you finish, maybe I'll come around. Had enough to bring me all the way to the ground. I don't have to tell you what I'm thinking about. You would make me bed, I know better than to sleep in it. Better off dead than the hell that will become of it. You would cut my head, but I'm not denying that I did not bring it on myself. I take pieces of myself from everyone around me. I'm not individual enough for you. I replicate the people I admire, but at least I'm not bitter inside. Bitter inside. I may not be 100% happy, but at least I'm not with you. I may not be 100% happy, but at least I'm not with
What's up, Bryce?
you.
like Jethro Tull?
Consumer Reports used road tests of
Sure, why not? What song do you want to hear?
25 most reliable and best over.
I set my moves up strategically. Enemy kings are taken easily. Knights move four spaces in place of bishops east of me. Communicate with pawns on a telepathic frequency. Smash knights with mics and militant mental fights. It seems to be an everlasting battle on the 64 block geometric metal battlefield. The sword of my rook will shatter your feeble battle shield.
Never heard of Jesse Wells?
Mystic sword that slaughter every player who inhabits my chessboard. Knight to queens 3, I slice through MCs. Seize the
This one's Apathy by Checkmate by Apathy.
mimic me, but cease to live instantly. Hidden deep within me is a sinister entity. Intentions of tension, tense and ten when kings rest in beds with queens breasts exposed for sex to decrease or release tent.
And the last song was Courtney Barnett.
To understand is that
What's that song called though?
optics of cyclops and wander with warlocks through Indian cornstalks. Chessboard blocks become blood red. Blood clots block brains and lock the thoughts of pawns and shot. I shot crossbows and crossbows across moats to pierce the archer's armor armed with arrows. Pull points from elbows for joints joined with arrow to maim. The tip of the arrows lit with flame. Checkmate. The death of your king ends the game.
Damn, you guys are putting me on hell songs tonight. Oh yeah, that song, the Courtney Barnett song is "Don't Apply Compression Gently." Yeah, you got it. There you go. One of the stairs. What are we talking about? Songs. Oh yeah, there was some chaos with ice. What did I miss? Minneapolis? Well, if that happens here, I I kind of hope there's some big protest here for me to go see. Is you in the Mafia? Yeah. Yeah. It's live right now? Oh shit, let me check it out. Minneapolis protest. These fucking nerds. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Shame, 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 shame. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. What would you do? If I was in 1963, I would go meet Austin. I'd go meet Austin Powers and hang out with him. Trump's life doesn't matter. It's time for somebody to get rid of that. Goddamn. All the Reddit mods gathered into. Oh, there you go. God. Uh-oh, there's some Nazis at this protest. Watch out. They sound exactly like the goddamn Portland protesters. I didn't see anyone get pepper sprayed yet. I don't know.
Wants her style.
Will we see a pepper spraying today? That girl was like, "You want to shoot me in the face?" You want to shoot me in the face too? Actually, yes. Like, goddamn. Shit. Man, what the fuck? What's going on with these people? Look, it's fucking snowing outside and they're doing this. What the fuck? Oh shit, I think they just sprayed somebody. pretty interesting. Federal government needs to stop sending money to states that do not purchase substances. Some of the bigger voices are paid, not all of them. I'm trying to fucking get a hold of these deranged lot. This deranged lot we got here. Off our streets. Fucking idiots. Got my noisemaker. About to go to jail. I know. Tim Wall's about to get jail time for real. Rape, shot, killings with iron belts for 10 rape. Damn, bro. I know, it's a huge crowd of old angry people.
Unarmed protesters! Get that on camera!
I'm unarmed! I'm unarmed! Don't shoot me in the face! I'm unarmed! Nazi scum, I'm unarmed! It's all a fucking game. They just go out there to play fucking victims. I'm unarmed. I think they're immune from being shot, and I think they're gonna FO again. Yeah, black people and Mexicans aren't trying to join these fucking crazy protesters. Oh shit, they got a bitch. Oh shit, he fell. Oh shit. Shame, 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 shame. Shame, 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 shame.
You have no authority here. You have no authority.
You have no authority here. You have no authority here. You have no powers, man. Oh no, it's fucking.
Back up faster. We got you. Chemical agent.
What's up, long dicks in my ass? Oh shit, they popped up smoke at him. They put smoke on him. They put smoke on him. This is brought to you by Red's Hot Sauce. I put that shit on everything. Smoked them out. Now they're not talking shit. Yeah, they used smoked on us at Portland Ice, and breathing in that smoke made me like fucking vomit. They didn't learn. They did not learn. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they had to break out the smoke on them. I would never live in Minnesota. It's way too fucking cold there. What are they about to get hit by a train now? I could see that happening.
Hey, CVP! What do you say? How many balls did you get today? Hey, CVP!
55,000.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Yeah!
Wow, that was
If
pathetic.
we don't stand up for our neighbors, if we don't stand up for each other, who will? The federal government is waging war on our state.
Save our living
What
centers.
are we gonna do? Right back! Who are you protecting? What are you doing?
Right now, there might be 2 or 3 arrested today.
Chinese Tifa.
Yeah, none of us were there.
Oh, they're always around.
But at least for me, some are, yes, but then
Look at him! If you're gonna be such a brave guy, look at me!
Fucking Nazis.
It's not anarchists, you stupid scum.
You stupid scum.
This is laws are out having
You stupid scum.
military out in the open, a police force out in the open. It's not about fucking secret police. You guys are like scumbags. You're like scumbag, the worst.
You guys are like scumbags.
This is not democracy. Democracy isn't about
You guys are like
scumbags.
scumbags.
Throw tear gas in my face and beat me up. That's not democracy, you fucks.
Don't beat me up, you fucks.
Americans.
Don't beat me up, guys.
You're un-American fucks.
Don't beat me up, guys.
American is Nazi scum. We don't deserve to be here. We all deserve to be here.
You guys are just Nazi scum,
You
guys.
guys. You know you'd be gone. You know you'd be out of here. You guys would have your liver tickets. Oh, hang on.
You guys are just Nazi scum.
We can all kick your fucking asses in 1 second if you didn't have your...
We're gonna kick your asses, guys. We can all kick your asses, guys. You guys are just Nazi scum. We can totally kick your asses.
They are so lost in their
You guys are just Nazi scum, guys. Nazi scum. Yes.
A mother was murdered yesterday. She has a sexual son. His name is Emerson. That death is on all of you. That death is on every one of you. A mother
Want a massage?
She was 37
Want a
years
back
old.
rib?
She had a 6
Build a website you love.
Want a massage and a back rib?
Where your words create your brand, your opportunity, your breakthrough.
name was Renee. Renee was the mother of Emerson. He doesn't have a mother today. He doesn't have a mother today. Look at your God. Look at your soul. I can make it.
Do you all condone this? You all condone this?
You proud you killed your mom yesterday? Is your mom proud of you? Are you proud of that? Look at me. Phil, look at me. Is you proud of what you did? I'm not proud.
Bro, it's always the same script. Fucking. Are you proud? Are you proud? You Nazi. I can totally beat your ass. Are you proud?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You killed her. You killed her.
Are you proud, Nazi? Are you proud, you Nazi? You fucking Nazi scare.
You killed her. Yeah, you.
You killed her. Rest in peace, retard. Oh yeah, exactly.
Killed her. You did. You right there. You killed her. You killed her. You killed her. Fuck you.
I wanted to define my life.
These people are fucking insane, and I'm glad there's cameras there to fucking document the insane things these insane people say.
Your children are embarrassed of you, and they always will be. Shame. Tiny man. Your children Bye, pussies. Bye, cowards. Go home. Quit your fucking job.
Yeah, fighting cops is a losing battle. That's why they're trying to get like a propaganda win. They're like, oh, the cops are hurting me. George Floyd. What's your personal assistant? So she's a liar too? Not surprised. This is pretty good footage. It seems like they have like a few different cameras there and they're like switching between them.
That fit you.
Elections that were rigged.
He has a grenade on his chest. I hope that's like a. I hope that's not like a real grenade.
Sure made the streets safe today, huh?
Such shame. So much shame.
Shame, 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 shame. Her and her girlfriend, her and her lesbian girlfriend drove to Minnesota and stalked and harassed ICE stations all day for a hobby.
All right, so what you're watching right there are those protests. We wanted to bring you that live feed, as we always do here on Live.
Oh, if he's gonna start talking, I'm switching to a different feed. Reuters. Reuters is live. That's only like one camera, I guess. So there's Fox. Fox has the most viewers. Mint. That's like a restream of Reuters.
AM. They describe a Honda Pilot blocked by multiple federal
federal investigation, but a statewide and local investigation as well. Local leaders, the Hennepin County attorney, also the police chief saying we need to have an independent investigation into what happened here so we can figure out exactly what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if it, I don't know, why does it matter?
Get more video.
That's kind of like when Kyle Rittenhouse did his whatever thing. So many people were talking about how he drove across state lines or whatever. It's like, Is that even important at all?
That barrier of agent after agent after agent standing side by side, creating that.
But it would be one thing if you like lied about dropping their kids off or whatever.
Breaching that area.
And interesting that we were just looking at the light rail station. Again, you even saw just moments ago the train came through there. Obviously, there are some protesters there at the light rail station, maybe coming to the protest right now, maybe leaving. It's been going on now for about an hour or so. Maybe also two people just going to work. So again, this is kind of a combination. This is a spot, if you're familiar with the area, Fort Snelling, a decent amount of people use that spot to, if they work downtown Minneapolis, to park their car there, take the train in. So all of this happening right there. I was just listening in for a second to see if we could hear anything. But again, heavy presence here, both a decent amount of protesters. We've seen this continue to grow, and obviously a lot.
This is pretty interesting. I'm getting kind of tired though.
We're going to stay with this for the next several minutes here, just to keep you updated on what started here as a protest about 7 this morning. At least that was the gathering time. We did see protesters out there before that who were setting things up and getting ready to make their voices be heard. This is outside of the Whipple Federal Building, the Fort Snelling area, and that's about, I'd say, it was about 8 o'clock we started seeing the agents moving in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so.
And then at 8:30, there was a ratcheting up, an escalation, if you will, of the agents trying to remove those folks from protesting there using chemical irritants. And we could see clouds of smoke and that type of thing around the
chemical irritants. Not an irritant.
Their eyes, some people who were on the ground and others who were trying to wash their eyes out with bottles of water. We could see some people who had been detained look like they had their hands behind their back, who were sitting down on the ground. So we don't know if there have been arrests. We don't know if anyone has been hurt. We haven't witnessed.
From hoses to hand tools, like
This is a fucking shit show out there.
build, maintain.
We've had any.
It's the same with the ICE protests. Like, it was just a shit show. Or I mean, the Portland ICE protests.
Saw several vests and jackets that said U.S. Border Patrol. And again, we know these federal agents have come in from all over. And that has been not only true here, but in other ICE deployments in LA, in Chicago, in Charlotte, that kind of come from all across the country and come here for a scheduled amount of time here, and the department has said that we have some 2,000 agents here in our area at this point, as what they are calling the largest immigration crackdown. And this is obviously because several of the agents here, the Whipple building has been their essentially, command center, as you mentioned, basically going there and kind of getting their assignments for the day. And as a result, that is why the protest has decided to have it start here.
Right, and the longer we stay there on what was a fairly large-scale protest, you can see the numbers are dwindling a fair amount as people have moved out of that area now, as the agents have kind of created this wall, this side-by-side presence. And there again, you see the light rail train going back. And to your point, Kelly, some may have arrived via the light rail versus driving to that area. And some might just be trying to get to work.
And of course,
And what you're watching right there is coming in live from KMSP. That is our Fox 9 Minneapolis team. You can see, as they mentioned, the numbers are starting to dwindle down. It's not clear if anyone has been arrested and charged, but we saw people, if you were watching us maybe about an hour ago, detained on the ground. Again, not quite clear if anyone has been arrested or charged at this point. We'll make sure to keep it posted. Right now, we are going to step away for a quick 2-minute commercial break, but a lot more live news coming up on the other side. We'll be right back.
How interesting. What a story. What a news story. I mentioned school because think he should have shot her in the foot. How about that? I think he should have shot her in the foot. And then, yeah. Or like Stephen A. Smith said, he should have shot her tire. Then everyone would be happy, right? They're coming back with more footage of them getting of the fights, the ICE agent fights. Look at that shitty city. I would never live there. Looks evil.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time 9:58 on the East Coast and 6:58 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'll be here for the next hour as we take a look at all of your different live feeds coming in. And that includes the House Democrats. They are set to hold their weekly briefing here in just a matter of moments. We're going to hear from Hakeem Jeffries and others there. And I can imagine they're going to have a variety of topics to discuss, including the ICE shooting there in Minneapolis, but also the situation in Venezuela and the capture of Nicolas Maduro.
That sounds kind of terrible. Listening to Hakeem Jeffries talk about some bullshit.
From Christy Noe with the Department of Homeland Security talking about the latest on that ICE shooting. Again, that time is approximate. Coming in from the Associated Press. We'll bring it to you in full once it does begin. We are going to check in once again with our Fox 9 Minneapolis team for their extended coverage here, but first, I do want to lift up the audio and listen in as the numbers are dwindling with that protest in Minneapolis. However, still some folks out there and a heavy federal agent presence.
Uh-oh, here we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Fucking Nazi! Shame on you, Nazi! You're all fucking Nazi. You killed her. I said it was you.
Find a new job, I will help you with your resume. I know some guys that have had sketchy jobs.
The audio is the best part because it's always the weirdest people always got some weird shit to say to these guys. Like, do you need a job? I hope you get a new job. It's like, bro.
Resume assistants for these guys. I've had a lot of shitty jobs.
All right, what you're watching right there is over in Minneapolis. You can hear the sounds of sirens, but again, those protests, the numbers dwindling there outside of the federal building. We'll, of course, keep you posted here with the help of our Fox 9 Minneapolis.
The numbers are dwindling. That's like Portland ICE protest right now. The numbers have dwindled.
Out there, we saw at one point an agent shoving another person to the ground throughout the morning there as they continue to protest out there. Again, this is outside the Whipple Federal Building in Minneapolis there. As you can see now, it looks like the temperature's come down a little bit there. Everyone just standing around at this point. But earlier around 7 to 7:30 as things got underway, it did get pretty tense out there again as those protesters confronted some of these federal
Maybe she took a magic carpet.
agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good in in Minneapolis there. So we're going to continue to be out there monitoring this for you and just see how all the protests are going out there at this time. But again, this is just one of several protests and demonstrations that we know of that are planned for today throughout the.
Oh no! I bet Portland has protests planned today too. I haven't really checked, but I can imagine.
There is going to be a vote here in just about an hour on the Senate floor related to the Senator Kane's War Powers resolution. So it's about allowing the U.S. military intervention in Venezuela, but essentially it's all going to come down to whether or not they do have to have authorization by Congress ahead of that. So right now there is some speech going on the Senate floor. We are going to lift up the audio here and listen in.
In our own country.
This sounds terrible. I don't fucking want to watch that shit. What happened to the protests? Come on, man. What's going on, man? Where's the live feed? Get back to the crazy live feed. 55 people watching. Looks like there's only 2 feeds. There's this one. Okay, rocks, Cherry. Bye, Cherry. Have a good sleep and day.
Use of deadly force. The answer will not only shape public trust in law enforcement, but the future of immigration enforcement in America. A woman.
Listen without.
Yeah, so I guess there's only one live feed of the protests right now. But it's on this channel, and they got the thing going on. Anyways, I think I might lay down.
Or to, quote, make war. Elbridge Gerry successfully replaced make war with declare war. Madison explained this distinction as leaving to the executive the power to repel sudden attacks. That distinction's been widened over the centuries, and perhaps it's time to take a fresh look at that question of what distinguishes declaring war from making war. In 1847, Congressman Abraham Lincoln addressed this very point and unsuccessfully argued that once the executive initiates a hostile act against a foreign power, it has in fact declared war by giving that power casus belli. Reacting to a military attack is one thing, he said, but initiating an attack quite another. Personally, I think he had a point, and I disagree with the current precedents, although I find it hard to fault the president for acting within them. Restoring the many guardrails that separate executive, legislative, and judicial powers in our Constitution would be a fitting way for Congress to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary. The Supreme Court's doing its part by restoring the president's exclusive control over executive agencies, and perhaps it will soon restore Congress's exclusive control over tariffs. I certainly hope so. Reasserting Congress's supremacy and the momentous question of war and peace will require a serious and sober discussion in Congress. But when I hear the hyperbolic and hyperpartisan rhetoric of the Democrats in this House with their hatred of Donald Trump dripping from every word, I fear that discussion must await calmer times, cooler heads, and wiser voices. In the meantime, let us rejoice in the fruits of this action. the removal of the worst despot in the Western Hemisphere, the revival of the Monroe Doctrine, the ejection of malignant powers insinuating themselves into Latin America, the unmistakable warning to tyrants around the world that America is back, the triumph of American arms, and most of all, setting the stage for the return of liberty, justice, and prosperity to the people of Venezuela. I yield back.
The chair recognizes the distinguished gentleman from Maryland, former leader of the minority party, and our dear friend Mr. Hoyer, for roughly 5 minutes.
Mr. Scalise, where's my 1 minute when I need it? Mr. Speaker, my dear and close friend Steve Womack, Madam Speaker, thank you for being here. My colleagues, my dear friends, Mr. Scalise, the Majority Leader, and Mr. Emmer, the Majority Whip. Thank you for being here.
You should all retire.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today with obviously mixed emotions and reluctant conviction. There's a true story I've told many times over the past 60 years. It's about a young man, myself, who was a student at the University of Maryland, College Park, just a few miles from this place. As a freshman, like many young people, I lacked a vision for my future. I nearly flew. Classes were canceled from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Shut up,
so that we
you
could all
old
go
piece of
hear the
shit.
guest speaker. Frankly, I had planned not to attend. However, I was walking up the hill near Cole Field House, where the event was located, and I saw our guest, drive up in a 1958 Pontiac convertible.
Oh, you old piece
That,
of shit.
Mr. Speaker, was a cool car. So cool that I decided to go to this convocation. That walk was my road to Damascus.
Shut the hell up.
It changed my life. The speaker was John F. Kennedy. In his remarks, here just to do our duty in those days of world chaos. In particular, he charged us students to become more active in our communities. Nancy heard those same words. Like many hundreds of thousands of young people, I was deeply inspired by Senator Kennedy and his words. Jack Kemp, who was my colleague when I first came here, had a similar story. A week later, I changed my major from business to political science. 7 years later, in 1966, 5 months out of Georgetown Law School, I was elected to the Maryland State Senate. 15 years after that, in 1981, the voters of the 5th District elected me to the United States House of Representatives.
Yeah, right.
I stand here now after some 60 years
Retire.
of public service, including nearly 45 years as a member of this House.
Fucking retire.
I won elections and lost a couple, celebrated triumphs and suffered setbacks, enjoyed friendships and endured hardships. As the song says, some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Happily, I've experienced more diamonds than stone. Shakespeare advised us all, this above all else, to thine own self be true. and it must follow as night the day, thou canst not be false to any man or to any woman. In that vein, Mr. Speaker, I have decided not to seek another term.
Oh,
in the People's
shit.
House. I make this decision with sadness.
Hell
for I
yeah.
love this House,
Woo!
an institution the framers designed to reflect the will of the American people and to serve as the guardian of their liberty and their democracy.
He's retiring. Woo!
Through the past 45 years, I have come to know many good, decent, patriotic members
Get your old
chosen by
ass
their
out of here.
neighbors to represent them. They come from both parties and all parts of the ideological spectrum.
Get your old ass out of
The
here.
Congress I entered in 1981 was somewhat different. Most Republicans and Democrats worked together in a collegial, productive way. The leaders of the House, Tip O'Neill and Bob Michel, fostered that environment. It was, of course, not a Congress without conflict. In the year to come, I will have much more to say about the issues we have grappled with and the ways this House has changed during my time. At the outset, I said that I spoke with reluctant conviction. That reluctance is because I am deeply concerned that this House is not living up to the founders' goals. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to examine their conscience, renew their courage, and carry out the responsibilities that the first article of the Constitution demands. Only in that way can we ensure that our 250 years will be a preface to a stronger, brighter beacon in a free and principled democracy. A nation of laws, not of men. A nation respected around the world for its strength, certainly, but even more for the ideals it represents and the justice with which it acts. That effort must extend beyond this House. I fear that America is heading not toward greatness, but toward smallness, pettiness, divisiveness, lawlessness, and disdainfulness. We must respect and love one another. We must remember that we are not great or unique because we say we're great, but because we are just, generous, and fair. I hope that spirit can guide us the rest of this Congress, because I still have much I want to do in the coming year, not least of which is keeping the government open. To do that, we must send all our appropriations bills to the President in a bipartisan, timely fashion. There are many people I intend to thank in the coming months, but there are a few I will recognize now. First, to my family, which has borne much of the burden of my service. Stand up, family.
Stand up, father.
Thank you so much. My late wife, Judy, who died too young and gave so much. My beloved daughters, Susan, Stephanie, and Ann, who paid a price for Dad's absences. To my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, for giving me great joy. My mother, who thankfully lived to see her son become the president of the Maryland State Senate. To my staff, for serving me and their nation with great loyalty and ability. To my colleagues, for trusting me with leadership. To the people of Prince George's County, particularly the African American community, without whom I would not have won my elections. To the people of the 5th District, who gave me a majority of their votes 23 times. And to my wife, Dr. Elaine Kmart, who's made my life whole and happy. Thank you, babe.
Thank you, baby.
And to God, for sending me down this road so many years ago that I call the road to Damascus. I want to thank all of my colleagues, extraordinary people, decent people, people whom their neighbors respect and sent them here. The only way you got here was your neighbors said they wanted you to represent them.
Yeah,
Thank you
right.
all.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Speaker, with tremendous gratitude, I yield back.
Now we need the rest of the old people to retire now. If you have gray hair, it's time to retire.
And you can see lawmakers from both sides of the aisle there. They are hugging Representative Hoyer, a Democrat from Maryland, who is the longest serving House Democrat in history. And of course, he has now announced his retirement there. And you can see, again, folks from both sides of the aisle, we're talking Democrats and Republicans who have served with him, are giving him hugs, shaking his hands, and well wishes. Right now, we are going to head to a quick break at 10:18 on the East Coast and 7:18 on the West Coast. You're watching Live Now from Fox. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time is 10:20 on the East Coast and 7:20 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and on the right-hand side of your screen, you're taking a look at the stage set, reporters ready to go. As we expect, we will hear from House Democrats, including Hakeem Jeffries, in just a matter of moments. Now, this was slated to start just about 20 minutes ago, but we also saw on the House floor the retirement of the longest-serving Democrat there in House history. So it looks as though you did see the House Democrats who stayed for that and are now likely headed over to that news conference that should begin in just a matter of moments. As you'd imagine, there are a lot of different topics that will likely be covered here, from immigration and the ICE shooting there over in Minneapolis to potentially Venezuela and the future. We know that a war powers legislation vote is set to take place on the Senate floor in just about 39 minutes. We'll, of course, keep an eye on that, as there is likely to be discussion from lawmakers there ahead of that vote. Again, we are awaiting this news conference here with Hakeem Jeffries and other House Democrats. We're going to bring it to you once it does get underway. Right now, I do want to take you back out to this live look that we do have over Minneapolis, as we know that protests have started to die down just a little bit. We saw the clashes maybe an hour and a half ago between ICE agents who are there working those immigration enforcements and the protesters who showed up. We know that tear gas was fired there. We did see people on the ground detained overall, but not quite clear if they were arrested, if they are going to be charged. That's all remaining up in the air at this point. As we get updates from Minneapolis officials as well as DHS, we're going to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. And in just about 38 minutes or so, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, that is when we expect we are going to hear from Secretary for Homeland Security Kristi Noem. She is slated to hold a news conference, according to the Associated Press. Now, it's likely this ICE shooting will be one of the topics that are discussed. However, we also know there are other issues, including immigration over in New York. So a lot of topics likely to be covered there as well. We'll bring you those comments as we do get them coming up in just about 37 minutes. Again, taking a live look over Minneapolis here. No injuries reported as a result of this morning's protest, but they did get fairly large. We're talking about what appear to be dozens, maybe even hundreds of people who are kind of crammed together, clashing with those federal law enforcement officers. Again, now things appear to have died down. They are fairly quiet. We do have several different angles, and right now this one appears to be pointed at the floor, as we are still hearing some of those protesters who are actually speaking to those ICE agents, saying some things that not very nice. But we do know that we also saw some signs with some swear words, so viewer discretion was advised. Again, those swear words also being said to those agents. That is what I was referring to. And if we do get any more coverage coming in from our Fox 9 Minneapolis team, we are going to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. And we are going to take a look right now at the stock market here. You can see the Dow started off the day in the red, bouncing back up to the green, up about 0.37%. Again, that is the Dow, up 183 points. While we wait for the House Democrats to speak, I do want to head over to the House floor, as there is more discussion on a variety of topics there. Let's lift up the audio and listen in.
Sponsored and co-sponsored 183 bills. Mr. Speaker, as many around the Capitol complex know, I often come to this floor to share good news from Pennsylvania's 15th Congressional District. I spoke 91 days on the House floor in 2025, delivering 120 speeches. I'm glad to have had the ability to communicate with my constituents in this way and to recognize their achievements. I thank the people of the 15th Congressional District.
All right, that House Democrat press conference getting underway. Let's lift up the audio.
Fighting on behalf of the American people, House Democrats, Senate Democrats joined together to drive down the high cost of living, to fix our broken healthcare system, and to deliver an America where working class folks, middle class folks, and everyday Americans cannot simply survive, but will be able to thrive economically. Let me congratulate Leader Steny Hoyer on his announcement. Leader Hoyer is a tremendous public servant, iconic, transformational, and legendary leader. And the House Democratic Caucus will miss him, but the House Democratic Caucus is thankful for his service, for his friendship, for his mentorship, and certainly all that Leader Hoyer has done over decades of service here in the People's House to make life better for the American people. Later on today, House Democrats, joined by some of our Republican colleagues in a bipartisan coalition, will advance legislation to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits to prevent millions of everyday Americans from experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles that would prevent them from being able to go see a doctor when they need one. The cost of living in America is far too high. And from the very beginning of this Congress, House Democrats have said that we will work with our colleagues.
What's the secret to peak health?
Going micro with Noom.
Micro habits, micro wins, even microdose GLP-1s.
Micro? We can do micro.
With Noom, we all can!
I'm doing it. I'm going micro.
I can do micro.
It's micro season, baby!
Micro changes, big results. Get started at noom.com. Do not micro puke on my shoulder.
Grocery costs are too high, utility bills are too high, childcare costs are too high, and healthcare costs are out of control. House Democrats, joined by Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats, have maintained from the very beginning that we were in this affordability fight until we win this affordability fight. And today, we have an opportunity to take a meaningful step forward to lower the high cost of living for everyday Americans, particularly as it relates to health care. But it's a battle that we will continue to wage on behalf of the American people. It's now my honor to yield to the highly distinguished leader of the Senate Democrats, Chuck Schumer.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries, and thank you and what's happening on the floor today. I too want to just salute Steny Hoyer for an amazing, productive career. He will be missed. Democrats are going to make health care and other high costs, the high cost of living, the #1 issue for all of 2026. The average American family, there are millions of them discussing this right now. How are we going to pay the bills? Do I have to put aside my retirement to pay for my higher health care costs? What am I going to do with the higher bills that I'm facing? And every day Americans are saying to their elected officials, do something about it. Unfortunately, our Republican friends have stood in the way of doing something about it, whether it's electric costs, healthcare costs, housing costs, tariffs, you name it. Yesterday, we Democrats in the Senate had a great forum to talk about housing costs. And then weeks ahead, we'll be talking about the cost of groceries and the cost of electricity, the cost of goods that tariffs have increased, the cost of childcare. And we will be relentless on focusing on this issue.
All right, so what you were listening to there were Jeffries and Schumer, but I do want to take you back out to Minneapolis. As you can see, those protests have heated up once again. We are talking about clashes between protesters and federal law enforcement right there on your screen. Now, there were hundreds of people out there earlier. There was tear gas that was deployed. People were detained. Not clear if they were arrested and charged, but it looks like after the number dwindled, you now have more folks who are showing up. A lot of TV cameras. We are going to lift up the audio here and listen in.
This is America. We will not stand down. We will not sit down. I can hear you. These men are not us. This is America. All right? This is America. This is contraband. Okay? This is contraband.
Come on, man, I got the flag. Let's keep walking. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I am coming to take some of the heat off of these goddamn cases. Okay? Alright, this is a year of election. We're taking our country back. We're taking our country back. Like, what this say here?
Read a history book, dumbass. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out.
Did want to dip down the audio. You can see protesters have once again gathered in very large numbers there. We are going to be checking in with our Fox 9 Minneapolis team as they continue their coverage here. This is now day 2 of those protests taking place over in Minneapolis, Minnesota after that fatal shooting of a woman by an ICE agent just yesterday. I can see people look to be maybe pulling on the American flag. Let's lift up.
Give me my flag back.
This is my flag, all right?
Give me my flag back.
This is my flag. This is our country. Trump is your president. President is. There's not 6 fucking liberal sons of bitches under the whole. It's really here. You're friendly.
We need to get these guys space. These are marshal. He's stuck in the fence.
Listen. All right, I need everybody to stay here. Get your install ready.
All right, again, a lot of swear words being said right there, so we are going to dip down the audio, but I can tell you it appears that 2 people are having a little bit of a tussle here over an American flag, which looks like it did get stuck in the fencing there during the protest. It does appear that they are on opposing sides, as you have protesters from both sides that have now shown up at the scene alongside the federal law enforcement that's there in formation to try to keep things under control. Now, it looks like, for the most part, as the photographer is kind of moving the camera, things over on this end appear to be much, much calmer, and that is where you do have the line of federal agents right there on your screen. And if you are just joining us, this is live over in Minneapolis. That's Alexis McAdams right there with Fox News, who is likely going to be speaking with some of those protesters and others out there to get more information on all of this. We'll keep you posted on Live Now from Fox, as we always do. Right now, though, we are going to head to a quick 2-minute commercial break on Live Now from Fox. My name is Josh Breslow, and we will be right back. Stay with us. here on Live Now from Fox. We are getting several different live images that are coming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota as the protests there, day 2, they have picked back up. Now, early this morning, we did see the clashes between the protesters and federal law enforcement. Now it appears that folks on both sides have shown up there and appear to be arguing with each other. Now, this shot right here on your screen, you can see more people, but it is overall calm at this hour. Do want to remind you, coming up in just about 20 minutes or so at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we expect that we are going to be hearing from Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem about ICE and immigration. So we'll bring you those comments here as they get underway. Also want to let you know that we did receive word from the White House coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern Time today. We expect now that we are going to hear from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, joined by Vice President J.D. Vance. That's all the information we have so far on that, but that just coming into our newsroom, so be sure to watch that here in full, commercial free, expected to begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, I do want to take this image for you in full. As you can see, we do have several different live cameras that are showing the situation as it is unfolding over in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're going to make sure to keep some of these images on your screen, and if we see things pick up again, we'll take you out there live. For now, I do want to head right back over to Washington, D.C., as we're hearing from Representative Hakeem Jeffries as well as Senator Chuck Schumer.
At 11 o'clock, we have the War Powers Act.
Picking up on, what is your expectation regarding the vote? And if it does not get a simple majority, what is your expectation or plan for oversight of military action?
Well, first, we were 2 votes short last time, and there are Republicans. Republicans should step up to the plate. Many of them privately in their conversations know how disastrous this is. Made even worse last night when Trump admitted this will take years. He doesn't even know how long. This kind of military adventurism, this kind of spending treasure and possibly lives in an endless war. American people don't want that, and Republicans should be held accountable. We hope a few of them, the bottom line is we demand that they vote with us, and the American people are watching.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, as we went back to that here, you can see that they did wrap up, and that's because Senator Chuck Schumer said they do have that vote coming up on the War Powers Act proposed there by Senator Kaine. We should be getting some of the images coming in, but regardless, once we get the results of that vote, we are going to make sure to bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox. Important to note that the War Powers Act would require authorization from Congress before there can be any further U.S. military action there in Venezuela, in or around that area. Again, we'll let you know as that vote does just need a simple majority to pass. Taking a look at some of the other live feeds that we do have coming in right now, we do still have this live look over Minneapolis at this hour as the protests have appeared to calm down once again after the uproar that just happened maybe 10-15 minutes ago. Again, a lot of people are still out there in larger numbers than we saw about an hour ago, but things do appear at this point to have calmed down. Right now, I'm going to take this opportunity to head to a quick break, but we will have a lot more coverage, including 11 a.m. Eastern Time, when we do hear from Secretary Kristi Noem with the Department of Homeland Security, and at 1 p.m. Eastern Time from Caroline Leavitt, the White House Press Secretary, and Vice President J.D. Vance. You're watching Live Now from Fox. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. It is Thursday, January 8th. My name is Josh Breslow. I've been here for the past several hours as we break down all of your top stories and live events from across the country and the world. Right now, I do want to take a look here at the Senate floor as we expect that vote on the War Powers Act will take place in just about 20 minutes. It's not quite clear if there will be any more discussion that takes place. Regardless, we'll let you know how this all does play out and bring you any of those comments here on Live Now from Fox as they happen. We're also keeping an eye on these live images coming in out of Minneapolis as protests are back underway. The clashes here that we've seen between federal law enforcement and protesters who are protesting the ICE-related shooting that happened yesterday. That is when officials say that an ICE agent fatally shot a woman. Now, there has been a lot of different videos circulating, and we've heard conflicting comments coming in from folks there with the Minneapolis city officials, as well as other comments coming in from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. She's expected to speak on immigration coming up in just about 20 minutes, so we'll bring you those comments here on Live Now from Fox as they get underway. Right now, I do want to dip into some other comments that we do have coming in. Now, this is all related to New York and immigration there. This was a short time ago, and I do want to dip in and just give it a listen.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. My name is Murad Awada. I'm the president and CEO of the New York Immigration Coalition. Today, I stand alongside members of our Care for Immigrant Families Coalition, advocates and immigrant champions to launch the Campaign for Access, Representation, Equity for Immigrant Families, renewing our fight for the passage for the Access to Representation Act and the passage of the Build Up Immigrant Legal Defense Act, known as BUILD Act. Just yesterday,
More boxes, more options. Grainger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to help you pack, store, and ship everything. And you can count on Grainger to deliver your boxes fast. Count on Grainger for boxes. Call or click Grainger.com/boxes today.
Of the lawless behaviors that this federal government has been engaging in order to meet its arbitrary deportation agenda. It's also an indication of the type of violence that our communities and neighbors have been facing every single day since this administration has come in a little bit less than a year ago. New York is experiencing unprecedented levels of ICE arrests, with agents kidnapping community members from their families, off the streets, from their workplaces, and even from mandatory immigration court hearings. Here at 26 Federal Plaza, we have seen them trick and trap people to come to court and then detain and disappear them on a daily basis this entire past year. With the system stacked against immigrant New Yorkers, we have to keep fighting to defeat Trump-appointed attorneys in immigration proceedings if they have access, and if they don't have access to representation, they will fail. And more families will be separated and more communities gutted. That's why we're here and saying New York State must invest $175 million and pass the Access to Representation and BUILD Act immediately. Yeah! What we need. We're gathered here with our champions and advocates who have been fighting for this. And without further ado, I want to introduce some of them who are going to speak more about the bills and ensure that we get it done this year. So without further ado, join me in welcoming our first speaker, New York State Senator John Liu.
Well, I want to thank our deputy leader for deferring to me and letting me go first. It's not a bad thing to have the deputy leader, Mike Gianaris, with us, and he's completely with us, has been from the beginning. What we saw yesterday was an outrageous act. Americans all across the country are outraged. As outrageous as it was, Every day outrageous things happen. We have seen so many things happen right here. Here in New York City, all across America. And what we need to do is we need to protect our fellow New Yorkers. That is what we're out here for. There's been a lot said about ICE now being the largest law enforcement agency in the country, especially when Trump gave them this huge budgetary increase on our backs. And are they even enforcing the law? That's very questionable. The bottom line is, we here in New York, we believe in following the law. We understand that the laws are on the books and they have to be complied with. And when necessary, we change the laws to make life better for our fellow New Yorkers. But the reality is, ICE and this Trump administration, New Yorkers, beyond what they are allowed to do in the law. And that's what we need to do. We need to protect our fellow New Yorkers using the law. It's demonstrated that somebody that has legal representation has more than 10 times more likelihood to have a positive or an acceptable result, or at least to have less damaging results. That legal representation is paramount to protecting our fellow New Yorkers. And that's why we are here rallying for these two important bills. What do we need? Access to representation. What do we need? When do we need it? Now. What do we need? When do we need it? And we also have to build up the infrastructure so that this access to representation will be preserved, not just during this horrific administration, but for many years into the future. That's what we need to do to protect our fellow New Yorkers. People say New York is the international capital of the world. I've heard every elected official at all levels say that. Well, we need to put our money where our mouths are and truly recognize that as the international capital of the world, we have citizens and we have people from all over the world.
And what you were listening to there was from earlier on this morning. Wanted to bring you some of those opening remarks out of New York City, all about funding there for immigration legal services. Right now, as I mentioned, in just about 10 minutes, we expect that vote to take place on the War Powers Act on the Senate floor. That's, of course, the same time that we are going to hear from Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. We do have that live look right here. Again, that is where Kristi Noem will be speaking in just a matter of moments. But for now, I do want to head over to the Senate floor as discussion is taking place ahead of that War Powers Act, which would require congressional approval before U.S. military presence or activity there in or around Venezuela.
Troops. And they fought for 2 weeks on the ground in Panama before they got their hands on Noriega. At that time, both Republican and Democrat leaders of the Senate praised this move. Compare that to what happened here. There were only about 200 troops involved, and they were engaged for 47 minutes. And yet, all of a sudden, this is a horrendous problem. Thank you very much, Senator. I appreciate that. When you're in the business of flooding drugs into the United States, drugs that kill our children and hurt our country and destabilize our hemisphere in violation of U.S. law, and when you invite in Russia, China, and Iran to set up shop right in our backyard and do the things that they're doing, there's going to be a price to pay. Maduro's paying that price today. But unlike the former president, President Trump demonstrated he is a man of action. He was decisive and did what he promised the American people he would do, and that is to keep them safe. Now Democrats are reversing their position on Maduro's removal to criticize the president. The president's decision was the right call. Let's acknowledge that fact. Let's celebrate that fact. Let's resolve that the president of the United States is to be commended for what he did. My fellow senators, vote no on this resolution. This is nothing more than a slap in the face of the President of the United States. It cannot accomplish something that does not exist. I yield the floor.
I recognize the Democrat leader. Mr. President, first I want to thank Senators Kaine for for his great leadership on this issue, Senator Schiff, Senator Paul, for working with me on this resolution. If there was ever a moment for the Senate to find its voice, it is now. The Senate must act to stop Donald Trump's folly. Today, the Senate must assert the authority given to it in the Constitution on matters of war and peace. And we must send Donald Trump a clear message on behalf of the American people: no more endless wars. If any of my colleagues, if any of the American people doubted what Trump was up to, here's what he said last night to the New York Times. They asked him, how long are we going to stay in Venezuela? A month, 6 months, a year? Donald Trump said, quote, I would say much longer. Donald Trump's ready for an endless war in Venezuela and Lord knows where else. The American people are not. The American people want us to focus on the #1 issue they face. The rising costs, that they can't afford the things they need, the affordability crisis. And instead, Donald Trump and too many of our Republican colleagues are saying, let us spend our treasure and maybe even American lives on Venezuela and other areas far afield. How can the American people watch this and not just groan and grimace and ache and fear? When we try to do this kind of nation, when America has tried to do this kind of nation building, this kinds of regime replacement in the past, it's led to the American people paying the price in treasure and in blood. So now we have the opportunity to stop. We're very close. We urge our Republican colleagues to join us. Tell the American people you want to focus on what they care about. The cost of groceries, the cost of health care, the cost of electricity and other goods. The contrast between what's happening in the House and the Senate today is glaring. In the House, there will be, from what I am told, a good number of Republicans who will join in saying, extend the tax credits for 3 years. Leader Thune has even refused to put that on the floor. But what's happening here, the ability, the strength, the constitutional authority of the Congress to say, no endless wars, no sending all our money down to Venezuela and Lord knows what other countries. Again, just look at this, my Republican colleagues. A year longer, I would say not. Here's what Trump said on oversight of Venezuela. He said it could last 3 years. They asked him a year longer. He says, I would say much longer. How many of you want to see us bogged down in Venezuela for a whole bunch of years? If you don't want to see that, if you want to see us focused on the costs the American people are facing and reduce them, vote with us, vote yes on this very important resolution. I yield the floor.
I recognize the senator from Virginia.
Mr. President, I've spoken before, so I'm going to be very brief, and then I'm going to call up the business of the Senate, this War Powers resolution. 2 points. In the aftermath of the briefing yesterday, I've had good conversations with colleagues, and many of it have asked me about the distinction between the execution of a valid arrest warrant and a larger military operation. And I want to state very clearly that I do not challenge, nor does this resolution challenge, the execution of a valid arrest warrant against Nicolas Maduro. That valid arrest warrant, bringing him to justice in the United States, will be good for America and good for Venezuela. And we do not challenge that. And in fact, under the War Powers resolution, I'm not even sure that the execution of an arrest warrant, even if accompanied by a military escort, would rise to the level of hostilities that would allow such a challenge. And I certainly wouldn't be calling it up for a vote on the floor. But this is obviously bigger than the initiation of an arrest warrant. From the beginning on September 2nd, the striking of Venezuelan boats in open waters, the amassing of naval assets around Venezuela, the president's authorization of covert activities, the seizure of ships, the coordinated attack of the 150 aircraft that not only extracted President Maduro and his wife, but also bomb sites around the countries. This is bigger than an arrest warrant. More than 200 enemies have been killed. U.S. troops have been injured. 2 are still hospitalized. And now we understand, after the hearing yesterday and what's been made public, this will go on for a long period of time. The seizure of oil, the dictation of terms about elections and the politics of Venezuela will go on for years. This is not an attack on the arrest warrant, but it is merely a statement that going forward, U.S. troops should not be used in hostilities in Venezuela without a vote of Congress, as the Constitution requires. The second point I'll make, Mr. President, is this. We're all humans in this place, and one of the things we try to do is minimize votes that we might regret. And it's impossible to eliminate those. We're humans, and we cast thousands of votes, even in a single term in the Senate, and there will be some we might look back on and feel like, oh, maybe we should have done this differently. The most likely vote where regret would be most painful is a vote on matters of war. And I just want to assure my colleagues, here is something I can guarantee you. No one has ever regretted a vote that just says, Mr. President, before you send our sons and daughters to war, come to Congress. That is a vote that no one has ever regretted and no one will ever regret. And with that, Mr. President, pursuant to Section 601B of the International Security Assistance and Arms Control Act of 1976, I move to discharge the Committee on Foreign Relations from further consideration of SJ Res 98, to direct the removal of the United States Armed Forces from hostilities within or against Venezuela that have not been authorized by Congress.
The clerk will report.
Motion to discharge SJ Res 98. Joint resolutions to direct the removal of United States Armed Forces from hostilities within or against Venezuela that have not been authorized by Congress.
Questions on the motion to discharge? Is there a sufficient second? Appears to be. Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Alsobrooks, Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Banks. Gotcha. Mr. Banks, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Bennett, Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Blumenthal, Ms. Rochester, Mr. Booker, Mr. Bozeman, Mrs. Britt, Mr. Budd, Ms. Cantwell, Mrs. Capito, Mr. Cassidy, Ms. Collins, Mr. Coons, Mr. Cornyn, Ms. Cortez Masto, Mr. Cotton, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Cruz, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Daines, Ms. Duckworth, Mr. Durbin, Ms. Ernst, Mr. Fetterman, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Gallego, Mrs. Gillibrand, Mr. Graham, Mr. Grassley, Mr. Haggerty, Ms. Hassan, Mr. Hawley, Mr. Heinrich, Mr. Hickenlooper, Ms. Hirono, Mr. Hoven, Mr. Husted, Mrs. Hyde-Smith, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Justice, Mr. Kane, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kim, Mr. King, Mr. Kennedy, Ms. Klobuchar, Mr. Langford, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lujan, Islamists, Mr. McCormick, Mr. Merkley, Mrs. Moody, Mr. Moran, Mr. Marino, Mr. Mullen, Ms. Murkowski, Mr. Murphy, Mrs. Murray, Mr. Ossoff, Mr. Padilla, Mr. Paul, Mr. Peters, Mr. Reed, Mr. Ricketts, Mr. Risch, Ms. Rosen, Mr. Rounds, Mr. Sanders, Mr. Schatz, Mr. Schiff, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Schumer, Mr. Scott of Florida, Mr. Scott of South Carolina, Mrs. Shaheen, Mr. Sheehy, Ms. Slotkin, Ms. Smith, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Thune, Mr. Tillis, Mr. Tuberville, Mr. Van Hollen, Mr. Warner, Mr. Warnock, Ms. Warren, Mr. Welch, Mr. Whitehouse, Mr. Wicker, Mr. Wyden, Mr. Young. Senators voting in the affirmative: Baldwin, Bennett, Durbin, Kane, Ossoff, Reed, Schiff, Schumer, Shaheen, and Young. Senators voting in the negative: Barrasso, Capito,
King today.
Johnson,
Of course, Secretary
Langford, Marshall, Moran, Marino, Risch, Scott.
All right, so we are listening in live there in Washington, D.C., as we do see the Senate voting on a resolution today to limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks against Venezuela. However, we do see this live press conference here with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem now about to get underway. Let's listen in over here.
New York, Frank Russo. Euro Field Director, New York, Kenneth Gidello. HSI Special Agent in Charge, Ricky Patel. Anything you need here again? Spelling, Frank Russo, R-U-S-S-O, Gianello, G-E-N-A-L-O, Patel, P-A-T-E-L. All right, guys, thank you.
All right, so we were just listening in there. We did anticipate this was about to get underway here. This was slated to start about 6 minutes ago, but again, we are going to be hearing from Secretary Noem here in just a matter of moments on Live Now from Fox, and we are going to be bringing that to you. Once again, we are seeing more protesters clashing with law enforcement in Minneapolis today, and there is that live look there coming into our newsroom right now. All of this coming after an ICE officer fatally shot a woman inside her vehicle just yesterday. So we continue to follow the latest there out of Minneapolis. We're going to step away for a quick 2-minute commercial break on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Kristi Matino. We'll head back to this next.
You're watching it live now from Fox. Welcome back. I did want to take you out back to this live look here. We're continuing to monitor this. This is going to be DHS Secretary Kristi Noem speaking there in New York City on immigration. And we did see Tricia McLaughlin walk up there a short time ago, appearing to just be giving reporters some information. We do not see Noem as of yet, so we will continue to keep an eye on this here. I'll even put up some boxes for you in just a moment here as we do transition back to the Senate, because we are keeping a close eye there as well. As I've been saying here, the Senate now voting on a resolution today that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks against Venezuela, setting up a test for his expanding ambitions in the Western Hemisphere. The War Powers Resolution would require President Trump to get congressional approval before striking Venezuela again. So we do want to continue to turn up the sound here and listen in.
Mrs. Gillibrand, aye. Miss Cantwell, aye. Mr. McCormick, no. Mr. Hoven, no. Mr. Wyden, aye.
Wyden's retarded.
Mr. Warnock, aye.